and a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Greetings once again. It is I, Tom Bloom.
And I'm Galen.
This is Galen. And we are reporting to you, no, I'm hearing not live, but recorded from Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. And this is your 15 minutes of, what was it again? It's been a while. FUME!
FUME!
First of all, I want to apologize because last year, this time of year, we were going gangbusters with the perfume reviews. Firstly, there was little else that we could do.
Yes.
And it was, we're entering into, we've got weenie season, all these collections coming out when there's so many perfumes to sniff. And we were sniffing them all. And this year we haven't really been able to get there because of a weird confluence of work schedules and, I don't know, life. There's an element of burnout because we've just been doing this so long. You're not made to do this in the long haul.
Yeah, I'm not.
Galen's not that person. And I could be, but also we're at the lab quite a lot more. Last year we couldn't go in at all because no one had a vaccine yet. This year we have vaccines and we're able to work safely at the lab doing shipping and, whatever they need to do.
Lab stuff.
So it has been harder to garbage truck.
We'll wait.
So it's been very difficult for us to keep up with the numerous perfumes coming out. For example, we're here today to review scents from the Vanitas collection from the recent Halloween Autumn 2021 perfumes, and there's 13 of them. And I don't know how in the world we'll be able to get through them in one sitting. That's a lot of oil. We only have so much skin, and, our nose receptors can only do so much, and then eventually one of us is going to get a headache and have to go lay down. So
yeah. Would you like to know something fun about this collection?
About this collection?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have only smelled 2 of them.
Fresh nostrils.
So these will be real reactions.
Real reactions.
In the moment.
Yes. That's what's tricky too, is when we have to wait to smell these perfumes on camera. Often we have already smelled them in real life, because wouldn't you?
Curious.
Yeah. So, and I haven't really tested all of these myself either. I've been kind of keeping them. It's just been
there's so many with the Halloween release, and also I've just been wearing the same 5 things over and over again because I'm
Galen.
I like my things. Let's dive in.
I'm
excited.
I'm just gonna go alphabetically, and we'll just see. We don't have the whole set here, and we'll just see what we've got from what we've got.
How low can we go?
So, for those who don't know, Vanitas is I almost said a meme. A motif in classical art. It is kind of a meme.
It's a meme.
It was kind of a meme of its time. That it was portrayals of rich, opulent, little slices of life with a skull prominently in the still life as a way of showing that all of this opulence was for naught, and that you too would die, and people back then didn't already know. You know what I mean? People were dying left and right, and then there's this artist asshole who's just don't forget. And it's
what would be funny?
Totally walked past 4 corpses on the way to work today. Wasn't going to forget anytime soon.
I think I have a painting about this.
Ah, yes, death.
It's just about how trivial life is.
Don't forget to think about death constantly. Our perfumer, Elizabeth, created this as kind of flipping it on its head a little bit, and wanted to actually focus on life and say, actually, all of these elements in the paintings do point to parts of life that bring comfort and make life worth living. It's art and beauty and pleasure and who wants to be that asshole when someone's enjoying an extremely fancy cluster of grapes to be oh, enjoy those because this is ephemeral and one day you shall die.
And to be fair, I have said that.
Yeah.
Usually whenever I see anyone eating grapes, but
especially the fancy grapes.
The fancy grapes.
Yeah.
It comes with a warning.
Isn't it funny that nowadays the fancy grapes are the organic ones that look like they were dug up out of the ground?
And you're I want to eat these?
They're the bumpiest grapes.
They're so gross.
Yeah. So,
we are,
veering immediately out of the gate. We didn't even make it to the on-ramp. So,
what are we talking about? Perfume!
So, just introducing the collection slightly, and the very first one that we have in the collection is a skull, a music book, a snuffed-out candle. There's attributions for all the artists on the product page, and the scent is Fading Tulips, Sweet Beeswax, White Sandalwood, and Hand-Smoothed Brown Leather. Obviously an instant Galen golden classic. You love leather and beeswax. Hope that's not too personal to share here. You all know that already.
And sandalwood.
And sandalwood.
I'm not sure how I feel about tulips.
Fading or otherwise. I'm taking this right out of your hand.
Oh.
And
I'm ready to smell it.
Give it back to you.
Okay.
Opened.
Mm.
Okay, you ready? I could have done that, but you didn't want to.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Wow.
Okay, I mean, like, honestly, this has that kind of just, like, witchcraft cabinet smell.
Yes,
to me,
it
like
does.
The Strega and D have.
A little sweeter, weirdly, and I think for the beeswax in this instance is...
it does say sweet beeswax.
Sweet beeswax.
The beeswax is I can't even talk. The beeswax is sweet.
It sounds like like when you're like swearing in a comic strip. Sweet beeswax.
Sweet beeswax.
Yeah.
Stub my toe.
Yeah. So I'm getting right off the bat in the bottle sweet beeswax for sure.
Yeah.
And then like this kind of like the fading tulips. It's like this like kind of sad, wilting, almost aquatic floral. You know, the rot setting in, which reminds me of the wilted corsage from Dead Blonde.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
This is like a back in time version of that. You know, it's kind of like Dead Blonde is to this kind of how Diana Spencer is to Anne Boleyn. You know what I'm saying?
Pearls.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I wore them.
Will you do it? Just like enigmatically, just like shatter your pearl necklace.
Really left quite an impact.
God, you're just like her. Anyway, let's get some on the skin.
I'm just enchanted.
I love it. You're behind, but in a moment you'll see that on the skin I'm getting the leather and the sandalwood instantly come like rising up out of it.
Okay, this is the Dunzo pile.
Dunzo.
Oh, wow. Okay. Definitely getting the tulips.
Yeah, it's kind of like filling
not getting them that much in the bottle, but
background space. There's like a nice kind of like light green wilty floral.
Oh, it's really nice.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's just like you know, the beeswax and the floral and the leather and sandalwood all together. It has a witchy cabinet smell, but now I feel like it's more like I don't know. There's like space. It doesn't feel like stuffy and close. Like the Strega one frightens me because it's got that chiaroscuro effect where it's just like...
It's intense and dark. This is like Miss Honey's cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like sort of like gentle and...
Like heartwarming.
Yeah. I know I've been saying this
Very
a lot
comforting.
lately, but it's like, yeah, kind of like romantic, you know?
Yeah.
In the sense like that, like, you know, romantic in that like life is fleeting and love is fleeting and the tulips are on their way out. So what chance does like the rest of any, you know, ephemeral...
Take caution to the wind.
Just quite lovely.
I could hang out there for a while.
Yeah, it really reminds me of something almost like a fantasy scent, like from the last Unicorn collection or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the sweet beeswax too, because I remember Mommy Fortuna having like a honey situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, this is just very gentle and elegant and refined, and well, we have to move on. We just can't sit and smell one perfume for 20 minutes, although wouldn't that be a carry if we did? So, the next one is Bouquet with Skull and Coins.
Oh.
A cluster of blossoms and a sheer glassy musk tinkling with gold and silver.
Ooh.
Glassy. The last thing we smelled that was glassy was that razor blade candy apple that had a kind of a weird, cold, glassy quality. Mm-hmm. It didn't say what flowers, just blossoms. Ooh. It's a huge departure from the florals in the last one that we smelled. Fascinating.
Would you even be able to detect what kind of florals? Because I'm not sure. So definitely like a strong melange. Something like I can't pick it out.
I want to say that there is rose in there.
I would say that's probably safe.
But it's mixed with a bunch of other kind of maybe similar flowers. But that's the kind of bouquet that we're thinking, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a big kind of robust, rowdy floral bouquet. And then there is that weird, like, glassy metallic.
Yeah. I smell the metal note.
There is a metal in there. and you know, metal and musk. And I really don't know how any of that works. People ask me complicated perfume-related questions in terms of, like, blending and things. And I am about as ignorant as it gets in terms of the formulation of these scents.
Oh, that's so weird.
This has a kind of a nice, warm, golden quality, and it has a hard edge in it because of the metals. But there's still, I was going to say it reminds me of the Steamworks stuff because of the metallic element. It's like a nice kind of floral Steamworks type scent.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I tripping?
No, you're not. I agree with you. I'm here to validate your claim.
I like it though because there is like a gentleness to it also. It's like, you know, the florals are kind of softening up on the skin.
It's soft with an edge.
Musk is like coming up. There's like this metallic hard edge, which I find nice because I have a metallic hard edge.
Yeah. It's like approachable, but you're actually a tough bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes when you're approachable, but you actually occasionally have to remind people that you're a tough bitch. You know, because they might forget because of how, like, you know, soft you are.
Yes.
And every now and then it's just like, you know?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't think so.
You have me mistaken with someone else.
I really enjoy it.
The two that we just smelled complement each other weirdly.
Yes, they do.
Not bad. Layup for alphabetical order. I once went to a drag show in Brooklyn where catastrophically, it was at like a block party that had this big show, and the host came out on stage and said that they had not programmed the show, so they were just going to present the performers in alphabetical order, which, by the way, as a producer, please know that is like maybe the worst way you could arrange a showcase of talent. Terrible.
Not ideal.
But we're doing pretty good here. The third I know is a major favorite among peoples who've been ordering, and that is CHIBI Skull with Last Will and Testament. Bourbon vanilla, mallow flower, red patchouli, and cream mousse. What does that even mean? I mean, we'll do our best.
It means this is gonna be good.
Like, so CHIBI is like this is like just a cute idea because it's like a cute version, right? Like a diminutive cute version.
Mm-hmm.
And it refers to the skull in this painting that has a kind of a like cuteness. That's not like really that
CHIBI.
Anatomically correct. It's just kind of like toothless and big-eyed, like a baby, but it's not a baby's skull. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you there.
Okay, this is really interesting.
Oh, in the bottle there's like a toasty vanilla mallow.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like almost like buttery.
Yeah.
Warm and buttery.
That's got to be
confection.
The cream mousse.
Yeah.
Mixing with like this. I was gonna say sandalwood, but it insists that it is red patchouli. It's not a intense patchouli smell. It's just kind of like a.
I do smell it though.
It's like a toasty, dirty vanilla.
Wow.
I'm gonna get some on the skin. I would love to.
This just has my vote.
Consume a cream mousse. Did you put some on?
No, not yet.
Okay. There's almost like a buttery popcorn.
Right.
In the opening. There is a kind of like a light perfumey sweetness behind it, which has just got to be that bourbon vanilla. And now this is one of those like racehorse dilemmas where it's like which of the horses will actually like outpace the others and then last with you the longest, because I just don't think it's going to go like this the whole time. Just kind of weirdly like light and I want to say fresh, like crisp, but with this like weird toasty edge. It's a really perfect for like fall perfume, I think. It reminds me of that October 32nd one that we did that was like the tea, you know, and Every Day is Halloween with the vanilla pumpkin, or that was the sandalwood pumpkin. Anyway, in that vein of like you've got like something perfumey and you've got something light and sweet, and they're just kind of swirled together in like a magical soft serve machine swirl.
I love it, and I'm like actually speechless, which is not helpful, and I'm so sorry. It like it just smells like some kind of incredible like ice cream.
Yeah.
Like baked or fried kind of confection. I'm just like
patchouli's coming
in
out.
Heaven. This is so cool.
Getting more of the patchouli. It's what it really reminds me of more than anything is our No Man is an Island fundraiser. Was it a food bank fundraiser from last year?
That makes sense.
Has a similar
like gourmand warmth to it.
There may be actual notes in common with this because that was a dark patchouli, hazelnut cream, coffee bean, bourbon vanilla, etc. So like in that had other stuff like sage and tonka
and coffee.
And yeah, so it was like, this is a little simpler, and also like abolished ice, which is another one of those like warm, creamy, almost toffee scents with a patchouli. Just great. Yeah.
And like maybe a sister, distant cousin of like Banshee Beat, Revenant Rhythm.
Yes,
definitely
minus,
like in that family.
Minus the weed, but you could just
right.
do that yourself. So you could just weed yourself and then enjoy this.
Well, technically the note is hemp, and also I was just thinking about how you asked your mother about using hemp rope at all.
My mom insists that she doesn't want to try weed even if it's legal. She doesn't want to, and I was like, how about CBD? And I was trying to explain to her about the healing properties of CBD, and she was like, oh no, I couldn't. And I was like, well, what about like hemp? Would you ever use like a hemp rope? Because at this point she's starting to sound like some kind of extremist.
And then she was just like, what?
What?
You're like, hemp.
Hemp.
The fact, like the
mom
made of the plant.
Mom is she's a square. I love her.
What, like a hemp skirt?
Right. She just didn't get it.
She didn't get it. It was. You had to have been there.
Moms. Am I right? So the next one we have is ivy twining around discarded skull.
You know how it is.
ITADS.
Ivy goes where it goes.
Smoldering incense, scorched brown sandalwood, drooping petals, noxious English ivy berries, and a tangle of leaves. So this A is telling me maybe a long lost dead leaves perfume. I love how sandalwood is included in all of these, and I just think it's because of the sort of like color palette of a lot of these paintings are kind of just like earthy, kind of like clean and rustic at the same time. Very sandalwoody in their like browns and beiges. Oh, okay. Well, this is a horse of an entirely different
interesting
color. The incense reminds me of the one that we did recently for the last syllable, the perfume "'Tis Strange," that was inspired by Macbeth. It's that, except for this goes into like a weird green place with the ivy and the berries. And so it's like that one was kind of inside Macbeth's castle, and this is like out skulking around in the castle grounds.
This is Boro's house in Brand New Cherry flavor.
You're not wrong.
That's what I'm getting.
I would want like a kind of a hothouse hibiscus in that also.
Yeah.
But like, no, for real though, it's like poisonous and incensey and green and dark.
Yeah.
And woody. Okay, let's do it. Ooh, instantly on the skin. It's like, it reminds me of like when you smell a blade of grass, but then you like break it, and the smell is so much sharper and more alive. This is where I'm getting like the leaves come right out. This is like a mixture.
I definitely smell the leaves like immediately.
Mixture of living and dead leaves. A real tangle. And then the incense kind of takes a little bit of a back burner here. I wonder if she'll be back later in the dry down.
It's fascinating because it is just like hovering around in there.
Yeah. And the sandalwood is kind of a great gap because it's like somewhere between a woody outdoor smell and like an incense smell, so it kind of marries the whole thing.
It's like a church that has been basically like
reclaimed by nature.
Yes.
Yes. It's like the house.
It's like half-eaten.
It's Princess Diana's childhood home.
We're going back to Spencer.
We watched the movie last night. It was exquisite.
We will just keep talking about it.
Oh, I just love watching people suffer in the movies. Anyway, that's that.
What's next?
Next we have laurel-crowned skull with Caesar's band flyer.
Sure.
Oh, I get it. Do you see band flyer? Because it's like there is a music book back in the background, and it's funny because it's like if Caesar had a band flyer, like on a telephone pole or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Do you see Caesar's band flyer?
Oh, yes. That's great. Come see my show.
Bay leaf, shimmering amber, tobacco flower, golden fig, Italian cypress, silvered ambergris, and warm balsam. I come not to bury Caesar, but to open for him. All right. Whoa. take it.
You got me.
Fascinating. First of all, I love bay leaf in fragrance.
And that's a bay leaf.
Right there. I like to make incense out of bay leaf because it's remarkably incendiary. Dried bay leaf really ignites. So right there, I'm kind of getting
nice like dry spice to it.
Yeah,
like,
a dry green spice.
Wow.
And then the amber is like right there behind it. I am getting the tobacco flower. I'm kind of smelling these almost in the order that they're listed. That's rare. That cypress is also kind of maybe interchangeable with the bay leaf because they're both so like green and spicy. Ambergris is just like mellowing out back there. And then of course, like things like fig, balsam, ambergris, tobacco flower, amber, these are all in a sort of, I feel like, a similar palette. It's almost like monochrome.
Yeah.
You know, like, and they're also mellow and just blur together like the reflections of trees in a Bob Ross painting, you know? Where you don't even see the individual things anymore. You just get that like, but you know what it is. So it's actually great with all these mellow, resinous notes to then have these kind of weird spikes of things like fresh cypress and bay leaf to kind of like make it like lively. It really reminds me of Falling Leaves Moon from last year, which I have never stopped wearing.
It does remind me of Falling Leaves. I mean, it's totally different, but like I see this is
more perfumey because there's something about the amber and the ambergris that kind of pull this into like a kind of a crumbly, you know, incensey perfumey place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so wonderful. There's like a sweetness just kind of blooming off of it.
I'm having a fit. It's so good.
The bay leaf, which is kind of really almost pungent in the bottle, has relaxed on the skin. Garbage truck. Now that we've had a few minutes while we were waiting for a garbage truck to pass, I can actually smell the fig. So there is like this weird, like amazing, like royal opulence to these. Also, I've got to say this is like among the more like gender fluid / airing toward masculine series of perfumes, just because they're all so kind of regal.
Yeah.
And they would work, I think, on anyone. But like if you're a fella or fella adjacent, I just don't think that there's just like so much to explore here. There's nothing to fear so far. Even that Fading Tulips one, like just really.
Or the floral bouquet. You got that metal edge.
Yeah, like, and you got like a dandy thing going on.
Yeah.
So that mellow sweetness, amber, fig, etc. I have to move on, or I'll just again sit here forever.
Yeah.
Next, we come to like kind of the joke one in the collection, which is Pandemic Vanitas. Which is and the picture is just like a photo of various pandemic things that were assembled for like a pandemic Vanitas, and this one is like, you know, a expression of the life as we lived it in the past year, in defiance of death that was stalking us from all sides. Fresh baked bread, takeout fries, raw cookie dough, and cotton blend sweatpants. So I was a little scared to smell this. I've
been scared and intrigued, and I can't believe I have actually managed to hold out this long.
Clap for Galen, please.
Here we go.
I can already smell it. I almost don't even need to bring it closer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm barely even close to the bottle.
I feel like someone's pranking me. Okay, so from this far away,
looks so much like French fries.
I am getting some French fries, and the bread kind of like mingles together, and the sweetness of the raw cookie dough, and then the cotton blend sweatpants just like is in there. I'm happy that I already saw some reviews of people really enjoying this and how it's just like this interesting like gourmand exploration, you know, and really loving the coziness of it.
Yeah.
It's not like super potato-y, but there is that fry in there.
It's the salty. Yeah,
salty. Yes,
warmth.
Thank you.
It's
Which now that I have that context, it's almost like a salted almond thing in my brain.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
that.
Almost like the Renaissance Festival almonds, something like that, like toasty and sweet, which is helping. Or maybe I've just been smelling it long enough to where my brain has just like killed all of its French fry receptors. Mercy killed them.
The longer I smell it, the more bready it becomes. The fry kind of quiets down.
I'm glad I'm professionally obligated to hang out with it for a while, because when I first smelled it in the bottle at the lab, my first thought was it just smelled like a stuffy airplane cabin, you know, like at like hour 5 of a cross-continental journey. It was just too much. It was like the sweatpants, the fries, the candy, you know, and I was like, I'm feeling a little, it's like cozy, but almost like aggressively so. Like you can't escape it.
That's a long flight.
That is, I remember flying, so I'm going to actually try some on the skin.
I'm getting the cookie dough part now, and I'm like...
Yeah, it's like a nice, salty, nutty cookie dough.
I feel like I'm in a bakery.
Yes.
And I'm not.
It has like a real, like, restaurant scent, where you're just getting a little bit, like, ambient food notes. It reminds me a little bit of the Alice in Wonderland Eat Me scent like that, where it's like disparate notes that you're kind of getting, which in a way I think this is why so many people will respond favorably to it, because it really does seem like a particular place or memory of being like out, and there's like this melange of different scents in the air, like a theme park almost, you know, like Disneyland.
I was just gonna say like a carnival.
Yes, there is like a carnival vibe to it. So like my mind went to airplane cabin first, but like
you're not wrong.
No, but there's more.
But there's other stuff.
And I'm glad that she resisted the urge to put a hand sanitizer note in here, because she really could have, like, you know, created a realistic ethanol or whatever scent.
Right. It would have ruined it, I think. It would have just been like a component that doesn't really, you know, make sense. It would make it like more unsettling versus this being like total comfort.
Right. And this is supposed to be a celebration of life, and like weirdly, you know, I don't know. Just something about the phrase "takeout fries" freaks me out, because you know fries don't travel well.
Right.
So
you got a window for those. And let's hope your drivers.
I love it when you order fries and you're like, maybe it'll be fine, and then you open them and you can already tell from the amount of moisture on the top of the carton.
It's like completely soggy, and they're cold, and they're oversalted, and then you eat them anyway.
You eat 5 of them,
and then feel great.
No,
I would eat more than 5.
It feels safe to talk and joke about this now, because I'm not smelling French fries on my skin, whereas if I were, I think this would make me so unhappy.
Yeah.
So no, I'm cool with it.
Just like, you know I already said heartwarming about one of these other ones, but this is also heartwarming, and like
it weirdly is
like just a warm hoodie.
Hold your
bakery.
Hold your friends close and your sweatpants closer. Next, we're moving on to this famous Cézanne painting, Pyramid of Skulls. This is the one that I saw where I was like, people, if you're not like buying this for your boyfriend or husband or, you know, fella adjacent partner, you're out of your mind, because there's so many really cool like gothy classical art scents here that like again have a kind of a weird masculine bent to them, because this is just as a blend of 4 sandalwood oils stained by tobacco absolute. So we're just talking like sandalwood and tobacco. Nothing dirty, scary, nothing fruity, you know, there's not just like, you know, flower petals like bursting out anywhere. 4 sandalwood oils stained by tobacco absolute, Pyramid of Skulls, like, you know, it's goth, it's metal, it's a classic. Also, I just love the opportunity to smell 4 different sandalwoods together in a batch, making like a human sandalwood peed.
I think I froze. This is so
Galen
good.
has glitched.
This is so good.
I was afraid that because of the sandalwood and tobacco, that it would run really just like sweet and goopy for some reason. There is like a real edge to it. It has a bite. That's like a really, first of all, I think like a real heavy like cigar tobacco, you know?
It's the good shit.
Or like pipe smoke.
The
sandalwood really brings out the kind of smoky pipe smoke smell. I want to say it almost smells like spicy. Like I would guess there was like nutmeg or something in here, or cardamom.
Must be one of the sandalwoods. Must have been that squirrel meat.
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Oh,
or like something clovey. I don't know.
Yeah, there is a weird spice. Or is it just the tobacco? Like, is it the tobacco playing with the sandalwoods in a way that makes it seem spicier.
It's just extremely lavish. I mean, yes, there's like sweetness in it. But
I put this on too close to the breads.
Too close to the breads. Occupational hazard. Just like a really like lavish, regal experience. You know, you're the king of your castle, and you can have a pyramid of skulls if you like.
Oh my god, I love this, and I will be wearing it all week.
I think that there are 3, 4, 5 of these left. We don't have the whole batch, but we're gonna have to cut it off here for now because we have exhausted our noses and our brains and our voices.
And exceeded 15 minutes for sure.
Remember back when that was like a challenge where it was like in the early days, it's like, we're just going to talk to you for 15 minutes. And we did a pretty good job. And I want to go back and look at those videos and be like, what did we even manage to say? Because now it's just like we just talk and it takes forever. We haven't done a 15-minute video in a while.
Yeah.
We have a recording with a special guest coming up this week. And I also would like to record a short video just for the 2 scents that were added to the collection at the end. October 32nd and every day is Halloween. So we'll be doing that soon. Anything else that you can think of to say before we start?
No.
All right, everyone. Well, just to let you know, we haven't forgotten. We know that you are counting on these reviews in order to make informed consumer choices with your hard-earned dollars, which we are definitely grateful to have. So we'll keep it up with the reviews and get as many out there as we can. Yule is coming up right around the corner. So we'll just see, won't we? And smell and say. Until next time.